You said it earlier at Auntie Jenny's, you just don't want to say it right now because you're on camera.
I actually had to take her into emergency.
Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. I have a question. I have a question.
Hello everybody, welcome to our channel, or welcome back to our channel if you're not new here. I am just warming up my coffee from this morning. I actually worked this morning. I worked from 8 to 12, and then after 12 I got off and picked up Miss Skylar-May and Georgia. They hung out at my sister's for this morning. So I worked a half day, and then when I came home, I've just gotten myself a little bit more ready for the day and changed into some comfy clothes. And then I got Skylar-May ready for the day as well. And she is just coloring right now and watching Tinkerbell. Okay, Skylar, what color is this? You say purple? Skylar, can you say purple? Skylar. You're distracted by the movie. You look like you're getting tired. You said it earlier at Auntie Jenny's, you just don't want to say it right now because you're on camera. Well, her new favorite color is purple. She can say it, and it's absolutely adorable when she does say it. I wasn't actually planning on vlogging today. However, the last video that we did was what my toddler eats in a day, so it wasn't actually a vlog, so I feel like I haven't vlogged in some time. And because I had the afternoon off, I decided to pick up the camera and vlog. I want to do a mini story time with you guys as well, so I'm going to prop you up on my ring light tripod and get that going, because Skylar-May is actually recovering from a piggyback cold or something that happened on the last cold. I feel like she's been sick for so long. I am so sick and tired of her being sick. I feel like she's been sick for like a month on and off, maybe like even 2, but I actually had to take her into emergency on Tuesday, which was not a fun experience. So I want to share that experience with you guys, give you a little mini story time. So I'm going to set you up and do that, but I am just going to finish a little bit more of my coffee and then maybe sit with Skylar-May and color with her for a few minutes. Okay, so as you guys may know from our previous vlog, me and Skylar had a cold not long ago. She actually had a fever the week before last that lasted about 3 days. I did talk about that in a previous vlog, so I will link that vlog up here and down below if you guys want to check it out and keep updated. So after that was kind of over, she started coughing on like maybe the Friday, and it was just a mild like cough here and there. She sounded like a bit congested, but her nose wasn't running. And then come Sunday, her nose was full on running and she was coughing pretty much the whole day. So Sunday night, we didn't get any sleep whatsoever. We finally fell asleep with her around like 12:30, and I woke up just after 1 to her cough attack, and then the coughing literally was nonstop until like 3:30 when I said enough is enough, and I took her into the bathroom with me. I turned the shower all the way on hot, turned the fan off, locked myself in the bathroom with her, and wrapped us in like a blanket. And the steam definitely helped relieve a bit of her cough, but she was still coughing like once every 10 seconds or so, and it was not great. We were definitely concerned, but it just sounded like a really nasty cough. So I still went to work on Monday because I was totally fine. I wasn't coughing or sneezing anymore. It was just her. Chris was totally fine as well. So we both went to work come Monday with an hour of sleep. She went to my mom's. She had just fallen asleep when I had gotten out of the shower getting ready for work. I had previously texted my sister, who's a nurse, and asked her if she could stop by, if she had the day off, if she could stop by my mom's and take a listen to her heart and chest just to make sure that everything sounded okay and there was no cause for concern. Around 1 o'clock, she woke up, my sister went over there, took a listen to her, and at this time, my mom and sister called me. My sister said she didn't hear any crackling or wheezing, which was a good sign, but she had had a big cough attack again when she had woken up from her nap at my mom's house, and she was struggling to take a full deep breath without coughing. She wasn't able to get a full breath. My sister said she took her outside and stood with her outside in the cold for a few minutes until the cough attack kind of passed, but she was still doing that wheezy cough that I just mimicked. So this really scared my mom and obviously freaked me out a little bit that she was having struggles breathing because the cough was so bad. So at that point, I had talked to my manager and said I had a family emergency, told her what was going on, and she was able to relieve me from work for the rest of the day. I'm very thankful for that. That I got given that option. So I very quickly and safely rushed across town and got her from my mom's house and called Chris and let him know what was going on. And there was two options. I could wait for Lord knows who long at any walk-in that would take us in town and see a doctor that way, or I could go straight to emerg, wait also God knows how long, and get seen in emerg. I just took her straight to emerg. I went in with her. The nurse that greeted us at the door was absolutely lovely. She got us to switch out my mask and then gave us a number and told us to take a seat. So we were waiting in the waiting room for probably an hour before my number got called, and we got to actually go up to the desk and give our history and what was going on with her to a separate nurse. When I was giving the history to the nurse, she was just very dismissive, I guess, and as soon as we got up to the desk to give the nurse the history, mind you, we had been waiting in the waiting room for an hour up until I finally got up to the desk that was only like 20 feet away from where we were sitting. And the whole time we were in the waiting room, she was coughing, of course. She was able to breathe, she was breathing, but she was still coughing and had a nasty cough and a runny nose and everything. So as soon as I brought her up to the actual desk and we sat down there, she was still coughing, and the nurse immediately gave me a mask to put on her. And I said, you know, she doesn't really understand that. Like she was like, okay, she's coughing, we're gonna need to put a mask on her. And I was like, I very nicely said, she's probably not going to tolerate a mask, but I will for sure try and put it on her and see what happens. And the nurse was kind of like dismissive, cranky. This is the nicest way possible I can put it. But she was like, you're gonna have to try. And I was like, yes, like I said. I kind of didn't really say anything after that. I just took the mask from her. And then as soon as I tried to put it on Skylar, that was a no-go. She was ripping it off. She was getting mad. So I'm not gonna force her to wear a mask, and she was already struggling with breathing, so I'm not gonna do that to a 2-year-old. I know that there are 2-year-olds that are very capable and very good at wearing masks. However, I have never put one on Skylar-May, and I wasn't gonna force her when she was struggling to breathe, even though she was coughing. But yeah. So that was where we were at. We sat down at the desk with the nurse for probably 20 minutes before we got put through the doors to the emergency ward, and then we were literally just sitting on the other side of the door in a hallway in a chair for probably 2 more hours. The doctor came over to us and did her exam. We didn't get put into a room. Whether the rooms were full and everything was crazy, I can imagine, but the hallway was quiet enough for him to just do her exam in the hallway. So he asked me to take off her shirt so he could take a look at her breathing. So he said her breathing just from looking at her, looked fine. She wasn't like gasping for air. She wasn't inhaling so harshly that you could see like the outline of her ribs or anything like my mom explained that she was doing at the house. I did tell the doctor that she was doing that about a couple hours before he was seeing us, and I did say the other night when she was coughing so hard, She did actually cough up like a huge ball of phlegm. After he took a listen to her himself, he said, yeah, I agree with your sister. I don't hear any crackles, no wheezes. That's a good sign. He pretty much said, unfortunately, there's not much we can do. If she's coughing, having a runny nose, and sneezing, that's actually good, because then she's getting whatever is in her system is coming up and coming out. And whether she coughs up the phlegm or coughs it up and swallows it, both of those are okay, because she's getting it out of her system both ways. Because if she coughs it up and swallows it, it's going into her stomach, and then she'll be able to digest it, which is obviously still gross, but it's not going back to the same place that it was coughed up from. So he very politely pretty much said, as much as it sucks, suck it up. He said you could try giving her Advil or Tylenol before bed to see if that helps her sleep, if she is in any pain, which I imagine she was from nonstop coughing. I know when I have a bad cough, my rib cage and my stomach get so sore after like a day, and by this time it was like day 3 or 4. It was day 4 when we went into emerg. So she was probably sore, and that's probably definitely took a play in why she wasn't sleeping as opposed to nonstop coughing. He said, while you're here, we might as well test her for COVID. He said, obviously, like, the swab is the only COVID test we can do for an infant her age. It sucks for everybody. It sucks for adults. It sucks for kids, and it's gonna irritate her. It's not gonna feel nice, but we need a good swab for the sample, so we need a 10-second swab. I was able to sit down with her, have her sitting on me, and I basically had to pin her down against my chest for 10 seconds. While the doctor was shoving a swab, like obviously far up her nose, and, you know, aggravating her sinuses that are already quite clearly aggravated from her cold. I completely understand that it needed to be done. I agreed. I said yes, you know, to doing the test, and I knew exactly how it was going to go down. But no mom likes to force their child to do anything they don't want to do, especially when it's something painful. After we left, she was nonstop sneezing, of course, because her nose was aggravated, right? By this time, we had gotten home at like 6:30. I kind of felt like going to emerg honestly was a complete waste of time, because we just got told to keep doing what we were doing. We're doing all the right things. As much as it sucks, deal with it. I texted my boss and let her know what was going on, and my manager. They told me to take the next day off of work while we were waiting for her COVID results, and just to catch up on sleep, take care of my babe. Very thankful that they gave me that option. So I took Tuesday off of work, and in the afternoon, Chris called the number that we had got given from the doctor for her COVID results. So he calls this number, it says, hey, my name's blah, blah, blah. My daughter's name is blah, blah, blah. She was in emerg last night and got a COVID test. This is the number we got given to contact to get her results. He then proceeded to get reamed out by whatever, for lack of a better word, hag was on the other side of the phone. Saying that this was not the number we were supposed to call for any results. They do not have any lab results at the number that we were calling and facility that we were calling, and that we were supposed to call the place wherever we got the test done. So I called the hospital, jumped through a few hoops that way as well to finally get directed to somebody who could tell me her test results. But I finally did, and they were able to tell me that her test results were in fact negative for COVID. So that was a huge relief. I suspected they were negative because the doctor said it didn't sound like COVID, but obviously he wanted to be sure. He said it sounded like she has a case of RSV, which is an upper respiratory infection, and apparently it's actually going around right now. So that is what he diagnosed her with. The doctor also mentioned that it sounded like she was at the worst of her cold or her upper respiratory infection, so she should only get better from here on out, and that's exactly what's happened. After that day, she has gotten nothing but better. She is still coughing a few times throughout the day, and her nose is still running a little bit. But she's finally getting the last little bit of all her phlegm and congestion out of her system, thank God. I got a few different types of medicine because the other stuff that we had just wasn't doing it for her. We're on the mend. Hopefully she does not get sick for a while. But I just wanted to share this experience and story time with you guys. I'm still gonna vlog a little bit more of today, so let's just get back to the vlog. So this is the Strodol stuff that I ended up getting, and this worked so much better. I don't know if it's because they're a little bit different. This one is a nasal and chest congestion for a runny nose and a dry or wet cough, and this one just relieves cough and loosens mucus and phlegm, but it was not doing either of those things. So if you have to choose between these two medicines, I don't recommend that one, but I do recommend this one. It's not invasive like Tylenol or Advil, and it's a good one. It definitely works, and you can use it up to 3 times a day, so that one is good. And then I also forgot to mention that we also ended up getting her this little snot sucker thing. I know there's ones that you can get where it's like a tube and you actually like suck out their snot, which I know sounds disgusting, but it's not as bad as it sounds. My friend actually has one, but this is the one that they had in the store. If you guys have a sick toddler and you don't really know what to do and you're feeling defeated because you want to do something to help relieve them, those were both lifesavers for us the last few days. So I am just making myself a snack for lunch. I'm going to have crackers with plain cream cheese, everything bagel seasoning, and then sliced cucumber and some spicy chili lime chips on the side. You can blame TikTok for this little snack here. It is so addicting. Hey, excuse me. I have a question. I have a question. Are you gonna nap at all today? Is that a no? No napping? Napping protest? Napping protest? I swear she is trying to phase out her nap. She did not end up taking a nap. But it has been quite a while later. Hey, Chris came home from work and I made some dinner. I just made the TikTok tomato and feta pasta. Really good, one of my favorites, and then just added some leftover rotisserie chicken that we had from last night to it, and I'm pairing that with a black cherry white claw. But we're just hanging out for the rest of the evening, so I'm gonna take this opportunity to end the vlog for today. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and make sure you subscribe down below for more content like this. But until then, we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.